at 5:03 p.m. Please be advised that FATV is conducting audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. I ask that anyone else in the audience who is recording this meeting please identify themselves by standing and stating their name and city of residence. Seeing none, I ask at this time that all electronic devices be placed into silent mode. The Fitchburg Cultural Council is a public entity. We are part of the Massachusetts Cultural Council, serving as the local cultural council. Our mission here is to elevate the rich cultural life in Fitchburg, and our members are appointed by the mayor of the city of Fitchburg. We all serve as volunteers, and we are always looking for new members. Welcome those who are interested in becoming new members here tonight, by the way. We also feel free to talk to any one of us to learn how you can get involved. You may also email us with your interest at fitchburg.mcc@gmail.com. I will do a roll call for the attendance tonight. Joe Bowen, of course, I'm here. Liz Murphy?
Here.
Dan Dow?
Present.
Shara Osgood?
Present.
Mike Amadeo?
Here.
Lily Gomez Fernandez?
Present.
Catherine Healy, not present. Tamar Russell Brown?
Present.
Okay, thank you. Shara, we'll be doing roll call votes tonight. Would you want to use this chart
Sure.
for that? And would you mind calling the rolls too, since that's the only copy I have?
Sure.
Okay, great, thank you. Actually, I need the last paragraph. Finish this.
Pass it back.
My apologies. Okay. We open every monthly meeting with public comment. If there is anyone in the audience that wishes to speak, please step up to the podium, state your name, city of residence, and the agenda item for which you'd like to speak for not more than 2 minutes. And if you're here specifically with regard to the new membership, you'll have an opportunity to come to the podium a little later in the meeting. Is there anyone else not speaking to the membership in particular? Okay. And we do not have any participants online that I am aware of. Is that correct, FATV? Okay. So our agenda tonight might take things out, a little bit out of order, but we just passed through the public comment. We will be jumping right into new members. We will have a vote on the grant report. We do not have a treasurer's report this evening. There hasn't been much activity because we just voted in the new grant awards at our last meeting, and we haven't processed any applications, submissions for payment yet. And then we'll have we have our January 6th meeting minutes to review. Tamar would like to speak regarding the scholarship program. And then I would like to have the conversation with regard to how we do our grant funding for FY26. And then we'll have some announcements. Okay. So first off, I think, Dan, why don't we jump into the grant report, if that's okay? You ready to speak to that?
Yep, thank you.
Okay.
Good evening, fellow committee members and residents of Fitchburg. As we near the conclusion of the latest grant cycle, I have been working to address outstanding grant documentation or issues related to 2024 grant awards. Of our 61 grants for the 2024 grant cycle, there are currently 4 open grantees who are experiencing issues with fund disbursements. I am working with our treasurer, Liz Murphy, to trace these checks to resolve these issues. Additionally, we are awaiting 2 grant reports from completed events and have one grantee. We have one grantee I've been unable to contact. This grantee has been informed by email that due to their lack of communication, the funds have become outstanding and they are now being referred to the collector's office. With Liz's assistance, I hope to have our 2024 grant report closed out by our next meeting. Communication updates. All 87 of our 2025 grant recipients have received emails from the Mass Cultural Council alerting them of their successful grant applications. At this time, we have had one individual who has to unfortunately decline their grant funds due to issues outside of their control. We look forward to their future projects and welcome them to reapply in the 2026 grant cycle. This now leaves us with a total of 86 grants for the 2025 cycle. So operationally, Joe Bowen and I are currently collaborating to draft and finalize this year's grant notification letters to inform grantees of next step practices. We have already received some inquiries from this year's grant applicants about these next steps. With Joe's and I's efforts, we hope to have this information out to our grantees in the next 2 weeks. Currently, I am working on updating past documentation. Once this is complete, next step letters will be sent out to grantees. Once these letters go out, I plan to put together documentation that details processes and best step practices for future grant coordinators. Thank you all for your collaboration, continued support, and I look forward to moving forward.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Have a motion to accept that report?
I make a motion to accept the grant report.
I have a motion from Shara. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Liz. Shara, when you're ready, you can call the roll.
You have to give me back the list.
Oh.
Okay, so Joe Bowen,
Yes.
Liz Murphy,
Yes.
Dan Dow.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Mike Amadeo,
Yes.
Lily Gomez Fernandez,
Yes.
Tamar Russell Brown.
Yes.
Excellent. Motion passes unanimously.
Jen.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jen's not here,
She's not on the list?
not on the list. Okay,
Oh, no.
Jen Hemway.
Must have cut off to the next page. Sorry about that, Jen.
It's okay, I just need a booster seat.
Okay, you have been noted.
All right.
Sorry, Jen.
No worries.
And she's also here. All right. All right, we'll jump into the next item would be the minutes to review, since we need the votes for that. This is going to be the meeting minutes from January 6th. I don't know if everybody's had an opportunity to read these. I'm ready to accept the motion. If folks need some time to read them, please speak up, and we'll give you a couple minutes. Okay, sounds like no one needs some time. I'll entertain a motion to accept these minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a motion from Liz, a second from Mike. Shara, when you're ready.
Got it. Okay. Joe Bowen,
Yes.
Liz Murphy,
Yes.
Dan Dow,
Yes.
myself, yes. Mike Amadeo,
Yes.
Lily Gomez Fernandez,
Yes.
Tamar Russell Brown,
Yes.
Jen Hemingway.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, great. Next item, we'll go right into the new members component of the agenda, and I'd like to welcome all of you in the audience here who I believe almost all of you are interested in joining the Cultural Council, and I thank you very much for your interest and your kindness in showing up tonight, and I hope that you learn all that you need to know to make an informed decision as to whether or not this would be something for you, and hopefully it'll always be in the affirmative, but we understand that it's not for everybody. So everyone should have a flyer that we prepared prior to the meeting. Lily, this flyer is a draft that I would like to have translated as well for our future meetings. And also, counselors, as I said, this is a draft, and I'll take all the criticism we can get on it so that we can make it right. But I think I covered all the bases in here. So what I'm about to go through here can take like an hour, and I know none of us have that sort of time for this. So all the material is in here to help educate you on what we do, and I'm going to talk about the highlights. So as far as who we are, we're, as I had mentioned in the introduction, we're here to help promote the world of arts and culture in the city of Fitchburg. And we do that in many different ways with grant funding, of course, that's our primary goal, but we also hold some events of our own from time to time, and we get creative and come up with new events or new things. We just try to find a way to make a difference and make the arts and culture world popular within the city and the region. So programs like our Winter and Spring Bazaar, our Creatives Meet and Greet events, our grantee receptions, our public input meetings, the scholarship program, which if you stick around, you'll learn more about from Tamar tonight. And we used to have a FCC TV show on FATV, which would be a great thing to bring back. And we used to do the program called Fitchburg Open Studios, which is currently run by the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance, but we do participate in some way. And we do various radio and TV appearances and whatever we can do to try to get our presence out there and encourage people to come and enjoy the world of arts and culture in Fitchburg. To get on the council, you need to be appointed by the mayor of Fitchburg. But it's important that you go through a process of understanding what the obligations are for a council member before you approach the mayor with your letter of interest. And this flyer details all of that. Primarily, the big thing that is really important is attendance at meetings. We have one meeting every month for an hour, with additional meetings held. Every fourth Monday of every month, we meet from 5 to 6 p.m. And we have supplemental meetings that we schedule. We coordinate schedules as a group for things like public input meetings, grant review meetings, which we have several of those. We have 3 or 4 of those, and they're usually 2-hour meetings held during the week in the months of November and December. And like I said, we coordinate our schedules and we make sure we have quorum, quorum being at least 50% of the more than 50% of the council members are able to attend these meetings. Additionally, we do prefer that members have an interest in participating in some of the events that we do. Certainly makes it more fun to do this sort of work with others. And let's see, what else can I talk about? We're always looking for what I could say, like new talent, right? So there are things that we can't do as a board because we don't have the expertise. And maybe if we had someone with that expertise who was interested in giving of that expertise to the council, then maybe we could do some new project that would be a lot of fun. So some of the things on the flyer that I had listed here that we have spoken about in the past, and we do have some of that talent already on the council, but these are things that would be very helpful in helping us not only just operate the council, but also to promote it and make it I don't know, more fun. Anyway, not that this isn't fun. This is great. I've been doing this council for a long time. So it is. We're looking for anyone with legal experience, accounting, business, organizing. If you're multilingual or some other communication mechanism that would be helpful for us. Public relations, leadership, podcasting. If you're an artist, if you're into technology, event planning, it's a wide array. I gave you a short list. There are things that I didn't dream up when I was doing this, and I ran out of room on the paper. So, whatever you have that could be of use to us, we would love to learn about that. If you do get selected to be on the Cultural Council, the process is that when the mayor will write a letter of appointment to the city council will refer your appointment to the appointments committee. The appointments committee will then review and approve you. I have never seen them reject somebody for the cultural council, but in general, you would expect to be approved. And then the city council affirms the decision to the appointments committee, and you're on. So it can take a couple of months sometimes, and it depends on your availability as well. And so that's it in a nutshell in terms of expectations and whatever. If any of you have not been deterred, no one's run away, so this is kind of nice to see. If any of you, I've still been able to garner your interest, or if you have any additional questions, I'm happy to take them. We've set aside time at this meeting to do that. If you do wish to speak, I would like you to come to the podium, please, and just identify yourself by your name and your city of residence, and then ask away your questions.
I'm not very used to this, but how many people on the council?
We have 9 members of the council at this time. We can have up to 22. Yeah. At one point in 2019, we had 17 members on the council.
We want all these seats full.
We do want all the seats full.
Yeah.
Because we could do so much more with more people. The smaller we get, the more strained we get on being able to even just do the basic things like give out the grant funds. And so, we're looking to grow on that, and we can do a lot more things. Anyone else with any questions? Or sure, Ricardo, come on back up.
And I just am concerned about conflict of interest, So if we
Sure.
could just explicitly address that, please.
Yeah, of course. So The Mass Cultural Council operates what's called the Local Cultural Council. So that's the Fitchburg Cultural Council. Our members are appointed by the mayor. So we work under the guidelines of the Mass Cultural Council. And there's, I believe, on the back of your flyer, there's a website. It's our website on the Mass Cultural Council website. You can go there, and there's a link to the program guidelines where it will give you great detail and all the information you want to know about how this council operates. And it does cover that it is acceptable for members of the Cultural Council to also receive funds from the Mass Cultural Council. There is a requirement, and this is not only there's open meeting law components to this as well as conflict of interest, in that if you are a grantee, then you need to file paperwork with the city clerk's office through my office. We file the paperwork with the city clerk, where we indicate that all of us here on the council are aware that we have a member on the council who has applied for funding, and that we will take a look at each application objectively with no bias and that sort of thing. And those are then held at the city clerk's office until, I don't know how long they keep it, maybe forever, I don't know. But then when we hold our votes, the council member who is the grantee needs to recuse themselves, which means they need to leave the room while the rest of the council debates and discusses and votes on that individual grantee's grant. And I think that's it. Are there anything else to add to that with regard to the question?
No, I think you explained it fairly well.
Okay, great. That was a great question, by the way.
I think has something to add.
Tamar, yes.
I was just going to say, it's not anything to be scared of, like to be nervous about, or to think that,
Right.
like if you're an artist in the community and you want to participate in some way in the grant, in receiving a grant, you shouldn't let that preclude you from wanting to be part of this, because we can separate you, and, so that's not a reason to think this is not a good idea.
Yeah. Thank you, Tamar. That was a great response. Anyone else have any thoughts or questions? Sure. Come on up to the podium. Is your name? Are you Hina?
Stand in front of you. My name is Hina Amin, and I am wondering is that what will be my direct role? What would I mean, if I get appointed, any kind of cultural activities that I can participate in terms of organizing. I just wanted to know a little bit about, if I decide to join, and if I get appointed, of course.
Yes.
How would I be able to, what else I could do? I mean, I just briefly saw it. I didn't even get to read it.
Yeah.
Just saying that, I just wanted to know. That's all.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer that question. Yeah. No problem. So a lot of our meetings are administrative in nature, where we sit here and we talk about grants and we make votes and things. But we do also make plans for things that we want to accomplish as a council. For example, tonight, after we're done with this segment, we'll be going over to talk about our scholarship program, where we obtain some funds from banks, and we coordinate a way to give those funds out to students who are interested in arts-related endeavors on education. In addition to that, in the past, we have hosted creative meet and greets, and usually those have some sort of a cultural component. We try to have an entertainer of some kind to give things a theme. We also do grantee receptions very often. Grantees are the people who receive the funds from us. We invite them to come together one night a year when we have the ability to do that, and we usually have another cultural component to that. It's always good for the grantees to come together to meet each other, and even some of them to perform for each other, to help grow and bring the communities closer together. And so there's things like that. And the council is open to do anything else. If there is someone who has experience in executing a particular cultural themed event and knows how many people need to do so many things, whatever that is, I believe we would obviously have to vote on it, but I'm not speaking for the council in general, but I think that, we would all participate in that if the timing was right, and we all had the available bandwidth to do that sort of thing. We would take on new events that we haven't done, or bring back others that we've done before.
Okay.
So did that fairly answer
Yes,
your question?
I think I'm just getting the some gist of it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. Anyone else have any questions? Okay. So thank you all for coming. You're welcome to stay, of course, through the end of the meeting. I'm going to move on to the next item on the agenda, if everybody's okay. All right. So Tamar would like to talk about our scholarship program.
Okay, so I wanted to re-earth the last program and do it exactly the same as the last one, which we attempted in 2023. The Women's Caucus of Massachusetts has agreed to jury the program to do the choosing, and they've asked that it be online because they're all over the state now, not just Central Mass. And because of schedules and so forth, they asked that everything could be put online. And then last time we had interviews that were required, and they would do those online. So I just wanted to ask Mr. Chair, the protocol, if you'd like me to re-earth the 2023 document and read it to everyone, or if it would be better if, how you want to go about doing that. I can tell you the details.
Is there anyone on the council that is interested or has knowledge or wishes to present an alternative mechanism to conduct our scholarship program? That I know we haven't heard what we did in 2023 yet, but I'm just wondering if there'll be others that are interested in presenting their own mechanism for scholarship program. Then maybe we could have a meeting where both could be discussed.
Okay.
Are there any members of the council that are interested in proposing a way to handle the scholarship program, or would we like to use the 2023 version as a debate and discuss model? And I could call a vote, but I'll accept the volunteer who wants to raise their hand. Let's just say I would like to discuss this in a separate meeting because I have ideas for something else. Or if we're silent, we will just accept the 2023 version for discussion.
Sure.
Okay. Did you already re-earth that, or you're asking?
Yeah, I have it right now.
Oh, okay, great.
So I thought I could tell everybody the details, and then I would like permission to move forward with it since we're at the end of January, so that the kids have a couple months to pull their things together.
Okay.
So basically, it's for a high school student, any Fitchburg high school student, and it would be a high school student that is enrolled already in a college where they're going to be studying the arts, and that's visual arts generally, but it could be performing, it could be other types of arts. And they're already planning to attend college or university in the fall as an art student, and so this scholarship would be for them. And obviously, anyone in town who's a high school student could apply. And the scholarship is awarded based on a number of criteria, and that's what the Women's Caucus would be the judges of. Basically, the things that they would have to present are an essay about themselves, their goals, their interests, a letter of recommendation from a teacher, the transcripts, which we asked for in the past. Maybe we want to not do that this year, but that's what we asked for last time. And then their acceptance letter from college where they're going to be attending, their portfolio, and 5 to 6 pieces of work. And of course, this could be 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, video. It could be a digital portfolio, obviously, because this is going to be all done digitally. So the Women's Caucus asked for digital so that things could be reviewed online. And so that's a little tricky with 2D or sculpture. It'd be a little harder, but of course, photography of those things would work, or video of those things. And then the applications would be submitted to us. If it was printed material, it would come to City Hall here with Fitchburg Cultural Council as the CO. And then if it's done through email, which it is going to need to be, it would come to the Fitchburg Cultural Council Gmail. And then I'm happy to manage that if that's helpful, since Joe, you check that email. And the deadline would be the 15th of April, and the Women's Caucus would have until the 15th of May to provide the council with their decisions. I believe we have $1,000, and I think we could do $1,000 for one strong student, or we could break it up. 500 is not a lot, but it helps everybody. So we could do that either one of two ways. And the Women's Caucus would do an interview also, and that would be done through Zoom. And that's what they've requested. So that's the basics, Mr. Chair.
Okay, I'd like to I can open the floor for questions from councilors. Mike, were you about to ask a question?
No, just said
Do we
thanks.
have to make a motion first?
I'm not sure we're ready to call a vote yet.
No, but we have to do a motion before we can discuss it. Isn't that the
But
protocol?
we're asking questions to come to a motion?
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, you didn't have anything, Mike?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
So if we just have an opinion, we have to wait until we have a motion, and then that's a discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had a couple clarifying questions. The process of doing it digitally is something that we have capacity to handle?
Yeah, so the way it happened before is they would send the letters that they're required to send through email. They would send digital links for the portfolio or a PDF, some sort of file. And then we basically collected that and gave it to the Women's Caucus. So we were like the middle people. We just kind of collected, passed it on.
Okay.
And then the Women's Caucus, they handled the interviews. So I actually don't know how that was done. I don't know, were you a member then, Shara?
I was, but I didn't participate in that.
Okay. So I have like a list of women who've agreed to participate. So I don't know how they, among themselves, do the jurying. I kind of left that up to them since they're all
Sure.
artists,
Yeah.
living, working artists. The interview before, I think there was some options before for them to meet at City Hall with the student for interviews, but this time they asked to do that through Zoom. So does that answer the question?
I believe it does, yeah. And the other question I had was, how did we handle the disbursement of scholarships last time? Did we do one big one? Did we do multiple small ones?
We did two $500 checks, and I just put in the request with the person's name and address, the awardees, the winners, and then they received a check at their home.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else have any questions for Tamar?
Do you know how many applicants were received in 2022?
That's a good question. I actually don't remember. It was only a handful.
Okay.
I mean, I think it was under 10. It wasn't that much.
Okay.
We'd really like to see more. That's why I wanted to do this again. I'm like, we had the money from the FRA, Fitchburg Redevelopment Authority, and they specifically requested that we give them a report. And so I felt compelled to make sure this happened again because I wanted to honor that I told Megan I would give a report. And then obviously Enterprise has joined us at least the two times I've been involved with money. So, yeah, so it was a 500 and 500, two different students. I don't think we had more than 10 people apply. So this time I'd like to work a little harder to get in front of the teachers.
Yeah, okay.
And I know Shara gave me a list from Sizer, or it was actually CM Judge, who's on the Women's Caucus, gave me a Sizer list. And so I wanted to make sure that all the art teachers in town get this information this time, because I wasn't 100% sure we got to everybody last time.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yep. Yeah.
You good?
You definitely covered. My follow-up question was going to be like the advertisement of it, but it sounds like you have a rethought process of that. So that's
We
great.
didn't heavily advertise. I think we literally sent this document, which it just needs to be amended now for
Yeah.
whatever we do this year. It just went to the teachers,
Yeah.
to the schools. So if there's, I think we had, was it Claudia, who had been connected with the schools? What was her name? I'm blanking on her name.
Stevens, Claudia Stevens.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. She physically took it to some of the schools.
Okay.
So it was sort of a manual. I don't think we marketed it online that much,
Okay.
which could be a good thing to do this time, although I don't know that all the students are on Facebook, or they're probably in other places, Instagram, TikTok. We need to do video, I guess. But yeah, I was trying to get directly to the teachers so that they could then present it to the students to say, this is something you should do, because they'll know also who's going to school.
Yep. Absolutely.
Right.
So I need to work a little harder on that this time.
Okay, any other questions? Lily, I haven't been looking up at the TV screen. Did you have any questions? Okay, great. So I think we could do this in 2 votes. Tamar, let me know if this makes sense to you. I think we should do 1 vote to accept the 2023 program for 2025, and then we could do a second vote for the disbursement of funds, either 1, 2, or whoever wants to make the motion, how they would like it to go. And then we can talk from there. Does that work? Okay. Is there a motion to accept the 2023 program, scholarship program for 2025?
I make a motion
I
to.
have a motion from Shar. Is there a second?
Second.
A second from Dan. Anyone speaking to the motion?
Yeah.
Yes, Shara.
I just want to say, yeah, I think that it is good to get things on the school, like Facebook pages and stuff, but I think that you will get the most traction if you reach out directly to the art teachers and music teachers and theater teachers within the schools, and like you said, get them to reach out to the students that they know are going to pursuing arts. So.
Yeah, they have a newsletter too, so if we get in that newsletter, that'd be significant. Yeah.
And I can hook you up with teachers too. I know most
Thank
of those
you.
teachers.
Yeah, anybody with those, I don't have any children, so I don't have any of these contacts, but if anybody has them, it would be helpful.
Thank you. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, Shara, will you do the roll call, please?
Okay, Joe Bowen,
Yes.
Liz Murphy,
Yes.
Dan Dow,
Yes.
Shara Osgood, yes. Mike Amadeo, sorry, Mike. Lily Gomez Fernandez,
Yes.
Tamar Russell Brown,
Am I allowed to vote, or should I
Yes.
abstain?
Yeah,
Okay,
No, you're allowed to vote.
I'm a yes.
and Jennifer Hemingway.
Yes.
That voted, it's approved unanimously.
Okay, now I'll entertain a motion as to how we would like to disperse the funds. Anyone can make that motion?
I would make a motion that we issue 1 grant for $1,000.
Okay, we have a motion on the table to issue 1 grant for, or 1 scholarship for $1,000. Is there a second?
I second that.
I have a second from Dan. Anyone speaking to the motion? Yes,
I
Liz.
guess if I may, with college costing so much, I think $500 really doesn't go very far. So $1,000 that would allow a student to use a little bit towards some of their classes and then some towards supplies. So otherwise, I think with just $500, it's really like probably just going to supplies and not actual classes. But even at Mount Wachusett, well, I know universities, community college is free right now, but if you're going to a 4-year school, that's not the case necessarily. So having anything towards the classes and supplies can be very expensive, especially if you're doing a lot of art classes and need a lot of tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Thanks, Liz. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Mike?
Yeah, I would concur with that, considering the relatively small number of applicants. It tends to be, seems kind of silly to dilute it.
Thank you, Mike. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Shara?
Yeah, I as someone who went to an art college, I can speak to that. And it was a long time ago, and it was very expensive. And I kind of agree with Liz that doing 1 scholarship of $1,000 would be great. I mean, if we could even find resources to do more in the future, that would be cool. But I think for now, to do 1, it can be competitive, and 1 person wins, and that makes it even more valuable.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you, Shara. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, I just want to say that I'm also in some... Oh, I'm sorry, Lily, go right ahead. You have the floor, Lily.
Thank you so much. I actually was going to provide like an alternative argument that it is that the kids are already planning to go to college. So in some ways, they are already making a commitment, either with family funds, personal funds, student loans. So given the fact that they already know that they are going to spend that amount of money, I was going to suggest actually to try to increase to 4 people. So instead of 1 that receives 1,000, it could be 4 that receives 250, my reasoning for that is that it can help with some supplies. It would be amazing if this scholarship would actually cover something significant as like one semester of tuition or something like that. But I think that at this point, this scholarship is just to help them a little bit. And I think that in the future, if we want to reach to other institutions and maybe request more money, I think that it would be better if we say we are selecting 4 students instead of saying that we are only selecting 1 student. In addition to that, given the fact that Fitchburg is such a diverse community, I think that it would be challenging. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it would be challenging for the women's caucus that they are selecting. The price, maybe the styles are going to look different because, or maybe the styles of what students are proposing are going to be extremely different. So I think that it would look better if we try to showcase the richness in the culture of Fitchburg, that it's, of course, illustrated by what the students are going to provide. So those are the reasonings behind me proposing 4 250 instead of 1,000. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay. I'm sorry, Shara, I didn't see your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, I understand what Lily is saying, and I think that there's some merit to that thinking, but I still think that for $250, most of these kids will not bother to actually do the work to make to apply for it. And I could see doing 2 at 500 like it was done last time, but I don't know. I'm between them because I think that $1,000 is significant enough to really be an award, but that being able to give more than 1 award is also has its merits. So I don't know.
Okay. Thank you, Shara. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Tamar?
Yeah, I was just going to say, we're not requiring that they present us with any, like this could go in their pocket and help them fix their car. We're not actually requiring that they say, what did you do with these funds? So I totally get what Lily's saying, and I would love to get a lot more money from the community to do this and have it bigger. But the fact that we haven't had a lot of applicants also, maybe it is better to do 1, and then we are putting the onus on the Women's Caucus to really choose the best portfolio and the best letter and the best presentation, which to do this kind of a application, it's a lot of work. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Tamar. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay. What I was about to say was that I'm in support of the $1,000 award for this program, and I appreciate all the input from the council members tonight. And one of the reasons why I feel that it's appropriate is because of a larger amount is certainly more motivating, I believe, for a student. I'm not a student at that age, so I don't can't really speak for them. But I imagine when I was that age, I would have preferred to apply for a $1,000 grant versus a $250 grant. And I see the scholarship program as, I don't know, I have to use a metaphor, like a plant that's, it's just budding and it's starting to come out of the ground. This is going to be the second time we're doing it. Is that right? And I try to think back as the council that we have today compared to what we had, say, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. We have seen interest in the council and the work that we do grow more and more every year. Just particularly looking at grant applications, I think when I first started on the council, we were getting about 60 grant applications in 2017, I think it was. Now we're getting close to 100. And that's because we've fostered the growth of this program and got the word out to people. We spread the word, so to speak, and got people engaged. And I think as we start to become more and more relevant to the arts and culture community than we already are, and we start promoting the scholarship program, we're going to see a lot more people, students, interested in applying, and it will give us leverage to address comments that several of you have already said, is that we can go to banks and other organizations and ask them to donate to our scholarship fund, and then we can give out even greater awards or more awards to students. And so that's my impression, my thoughts around where I see this going if we were to continue this in the future, and we will have to vote on it every year. So, I think this is a good start. So that's all I have to say. Is there anyone else who has something to say on this topic? Yes, Tamar.
I just want to thank the Women's Caucus for supporting us this way. I think it's also good to build bridges in the community with other arts organizations. So I just want to thank them as well. And I think the folks who got the scholarship in the past were also women. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's a nice way to be connected in the community with the art community. So that's another reason I like doing this. It kind of helps the kids. It's like putting us in the connection with the schools, but it also helps by building a bridge with the Women's Caucus, which they're based in our region now. So that's exciting.
Thank you, Tamar. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, Shara, you can call the roll.
Okay, Joe Bowen,
Yes.
Liz Murphy,
Yes.
Dan Dow,
Yes.
myself, yes, Mike Amadeo,
Yes.
Lily Fernandez Gomez. Lily?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Tamar Russell Brown
Yes.
and Jennifer Hemingway.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Motion.
Thank you, everybody. The next item up on our agenda, Dan, thank you,
Thank you, Joe.
is the topic is the FY26 grant funding planning. And when we were going through our grant review process in November and December, we had come to an understanding as a council that we have reached a point where the mechanisms by which we funded our grantees historically may not work so well, in that there are other mechanisms in which we could provide funding provide the grant funds, and that exploring that is something we should do. The more applications we get, the smaller our cap seems to get, because our goal has been, let's fund as many as we can, and as I had said, it starts to dilute the cap that we can do, and we all agree that we need to come up with a philosophy of some kind in which we want to approach our funding. That this is actually something that the public would be involved in heavily before we would make the decision, but I think that we should discuss as a council how we might want to approach it, so we have something to present to the public. It's for debate and discussion. And I feel that discussing this sort of thing in a full council session is not going to get us to the end zone in time for the next grant cycle. So I'd like to request to form a subcommittee of the council to discuss a proposal. It can be 3 or 4 members that are interested in being part of that, and we'll have that committee meet independently. Of course, it will be open to the public. It will be publicly announced and so forth, like all our other meetings. But it'll give us an opportunity to have a smaller forum for us to develop a proposal to bring to the full council. And so with that, I would like to ask for any volunteers who would like to be part of that subcommittee. And the scheduling is up to you as to when you want to have it. It's just looking for some participants right now. Is there any interest? Mike? Thank you, Mike.
And myself.
Shara? Thank you. Anyone else? Lily?
Yes, I raised my hand.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. So we have Lily, Mike, and Shara. And, okay. So,
I could participate too if.
okay. Okay, so,
I would offer that I have some broader grant experience in my role.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
have you.
great. And in terms of chairing that subcommittee, I'm going to put Shara on the spot. Shara, would you mind chairing that subcommittee?
I would not mind sharing.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we have a subcommittee we'll call it the FY26 Grant Funding Planning Subcommittee. That's really long. Yes, Jen?
I might be interested. I just have to iron out schedules outside of this meeting.
Okay, we can, we can adjust the size of the the subcommittee size and members after this. I just want to make sure we had enough interest to actually form the committee, and it looks like we do, so that's great. So we'll form that committee, and we will get the meeting scheduled. And thank you very much for being willing to do all of that. I appreciate it, and I look forward to what your findings are. We're evolving as it seems to be these days, so I'm looking forward to the next steps. Okay, we're about done with the agenda here, so there are some upcoming events. If there are any that anyone would like to announce, I do want to point out that Ellen Doust, who has been a member with us for a little while now, she has had some scheduling conflicts with our meeting times, and she is no longer able to serve with us. I want to thank her profusely for all the help that she has given in the time that she's been with us, and she's not going anywhere, but she just will not be on our council anymore, and I'm sure we'll see her around town, so thank you. I also want to mention that I had brought this up a few meetings back, but starting March 31st of this year, remote meetings will no longer be permitted by the Mass Cultural Council, which I believe is under the governor's directive. So we will have to be here in person for all meetings after that date. And I just wanted to put that out there as a reminder. And anyone else have any announcements they would like to make? Yes. Liz.
I just want to let the public know that on February 21st and February 22nd, Fitchburg will be hosting their first creative networking summit here in Fitchburg. So Friday, February 21st at the Art Museum from 6 to 8:30 will be a primarily networking event. And then Saturday from 8 to 4:30 at the Fitchburg Armory, which is also the Fitchburg Senior Center on Wallace Ave, just off of Main Street, will be a full day of workshops, and lunch will be provided. The entire event is free, and we hope to see everybody there. There'll be some hands-on projects that people can take on. There will be workshop sessions. There's certainly going to be some movement to try to bring together the region, to think more regionally with our creative economy. So I think this is a wonderful opportunity. Hopefully it will be an annual event after this year, and we hope everybody comes.
Thank you, Liz. Anyone else have any announcements? Okay, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion from Liz.
Second.
Is there a second? Second from Tamar. All in favor? It's an aye. Okay. Motion carries. We're adjourned to 5:51.